Here's what I did to get top grades at NYU School of Law and Harvard Law School. The first thing I did was read every single case. There's no shortcuts in life, and that applies equally to studying for law school. The best way to understand the actual reasoning and justification for judges' decisions that you're reading about is to actually read them word for word. Don't be lazy, it'll pay off. The second thing I did was write my own outline and then memorize it. Most people in law school are basically scrambling during the last few weeks before exams to put an outline together, and an outline is like a high-level summary of the cases you read in that class. But I went a step further. I wrote my own outline and then I went line for line and memorized as much of it as I possibly could before the exam. That let me recall the information faster on the exam and write more, which I'm going to talk about in a second. If you don't have time to read every single case, then I recommend you use a tool like LexPlug. LexPlug provides excellent summaries and analyses of these complicated cases, and it even has an explain like I'm 5 mode, so that I can break down these things in a way that is in plain English and easier to understand. Because some of these judges, man, and some of the old English that they use, and what I think is pretty awesome is they have this thing called the Gunner bot. That's basically an AI chat bot that helps you understand the case better. You can ask it questions, you can pose hypotheticals, and it's almost like a tutor for you as you're reading through the case and its analysis and reasoning. Think Quimby, but better, faster, and stronger. Okay, this one is kind of out of left field, but I promise you it will make waves on your exam, and it's learning to type correctly to get your words per minute up above 100 per minute. A lot of professors on their exams don't have word limits, and on top of that, some of them explicitly tell you that if you get a statement of law incorrect, they're not gonna deduct points for that. If you put those rules together, that means that the more you type and the more you throw the kitchen sink at your professor, the higher likelihood you're probably going to get more points than other folks in your class. And to give you an example, many of my classmates in law school were writing somewhere between 3,000 to 4,000 words for a 3-hour exam. I, on average, wrote 9,000 to 10,000 words. Now, I'm not saying that all of those words were good. Plenty of them were probably not, but I scored well, I think, because I had so many more opportunities to hit points than my classmates did, that eventually those points added up and I scored higher. And the only reason I could do that is because I was typing really quickly. So I literally learned how to retype like the correct way with your 4 fingers and all that right before law school. I recommend Z-Type if you want a fun and engaging way to learn how to type. And last but certainly not least, make time for your mental health. I am not even kidding when I tell you that if your mental health isn't in good shape, you're gonna just perform worse on the exams. I took more time for myself in my second semester of my 1L year, going to the gym more, breaking out of the law school bubble, hanging out with my friends more, and I scored better than my first semester, even though my first semester I studied probably 1.5 times as much. So in addition to the fact that your mental health is always crucial and should always be a priority for you, no matter where you are, what year you are in law school, or even if you're a practicing lawyer, it's also strategic to take care of it because law school is a lot of curriculum, it's a lot of reading, and the way that your brain is able to process all of that so you can regurgitate it and perform well on exams is by making sure you give it a well-deserved break. Good luck to every single 1L out there who is just starting your journey in the legal world and the legal profession. You guys are gonna crush it, and if you want more information and tips about law school, you can go there. Take care.